Peace, family. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Crystal Healing. I'm your host, Crystal Heal. For those of you who were just joining me in the last gAudio I tried to do, Facebook is tripping. They piss me off. They, cut the sound off the video. It's Facebook. Facebook is ran by the government, and they expose what they want to be exposed, and they delete what they want to delete. It's all ran by the fucking government. So, it is what it is. But we will have to find some alternative method to communicate with each other other than Facebook, because Facebook be tripping. So anyway, thank you guys all for tuning in tonight. I was doing a formal gAudio with an actual purpose and point. But again, that was intercepted by Facebook, and just like the last one. So, it is what it is. But tonight, we just going to have an informal discussion, a little chat, and just discuss some things. I have nothing really planned. We're just going to see where this goes. But as a starter, I want to use the picture that I put for this gAudio just to get us in there. You feel what I'm saying? And so if we look at the picture displayed before you, you see that there's a lighter, but he's trying to create fire. Now, when I look at this picture, hey, Jaquita, Joseph Whitfield, peace, Sakura, Precious Offset L, peace, sis, Islam. Now, look at the picture I have before you with a lighter trying to make a fire. Now, when I look at this picture, y'all want to know what I see? Shit's funny to me. You want to know what I see? I see what I see every day all over the world. It reminds me of how people have inadvertently or try to, nevertheless, create a God outside of them, not really knowing who they really are, And this is what I see when I look at this picture. A lighter trying to create fire. And so too, man who is God in his own right and person, trying to create God outside of himself because he doesn't know who he is. And that's the state of the affairs that we are in this day and age. Yeah, exactly. Secure some dumb shit. And that's how we look. You know what I'm saying? This day and age, trying to find God, create God, and all this other shit, not even realizing who you are. And to take this even more further more further grammatically incorrect, but to take this even further, we do this externally as well. It's like the law. We worship the law outside of ourselves. We worship the court systems and the rules and regulations set for us outside of ourselves, because we don't realize that we are law of and in ourselves. You feel what I'm saying? Secure says if you don't refill your ass up with some butane. Facts. But you know what I'm saying? It's like the government is an external law, in the same way that, religion gives you an external God, and the government puts you in jail and God will put you in hell, and I'm just curious to when everybody will be tired of this bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's all fraud. Both of them really are fraud. There is no law outside of yourself. And if there is, it's the devil. You understand? Any law outside of you as a sovereign, deciding where you want to go, when you want to go, long as you're not harming anybody, you are a law in and of yourself. And following external rules, to me, is just some bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? It's fraud and it's bullshit. But you know what I find funny, though, is people just don't critically think, man. People hate you for standing up for your rights. And whether that's for your rights in terms of the law, not wanting to follow people's external rules, they'll hate you for not wanting to follow an external God. You feel what I'm saying? If you want to be subject to all these different ass gods, then that's on you. You feel me? But I don't have to be subject to them. And in the same way, if you want to be subject to all these external governments and shit, that's you. But I don't really want to be subject to none of them. You feel what I'm saying? Because the same way the church will put you in hell for nonviolent crimes, They'll put you in hell today. Not tomorrow, not in the hereafter. They'll put your ass in hell today. That guilt will eat you up, burn you up like fire. My nigga, ruin your whole motherfucking life. Most people know what I'm talking about. That's why they falling away from religion. You understand? And it's unjust. It's unjust. Have you all embarrassed and shit. Same thing with the law. The law lock your ass up, put you in jail for a fucking traffic ticket and shit. You ain't hurt nobody, ain't wrecked, ain't do nothing. But they'll throw your ass in jail for an undetermined amount of time in a whole fucking cage. And they got people who in this world really believe that that shit is okay. Like, and they'll say shit like, well, you should have just followed the rules. You ever heard that shit? You should have just been obedient and none of this would have happened. You feel what I'm saying? It's the same thing with the external God shit. They correspond to each other. You should have just followed the rules. And nobody in the church house be talking about you. You see what I'm saying? You should have never got pregnant out of wedlock and you wouldn't be the laughing stock of the church. You feel me? You should have never cut your hair. You shouldn't be wearing them pants. All these petty ass rules that has nothing to do with the content of your heart. You feel me? Even with the law, most of the statutes and codes and shit like that, you ain't hurt nobody. There's no injured party here. It's just a way to extract money out of you. In the same way religion do the same thing. It's a way to extract attention and time and money out of you. It has nothing to do with harming anybody, really. Yeah, facts. Let me read some of these comments. Jaquita says, yep, I hear that a lot. Yeah, they always want to put the blame on you. They don't want to put the blame on the people who are throwing you on jail. Don't care if your kids don't have their daddy. Don't care if your wife can't pay for the fucking bills while your ass is in jail. You feel what I'm saying? Don't care about the embarrassment that you have to go through. Don't care about all the fines that you have to pay as if you got that kind of extra money any motherfucking way. They don't care about none of that shit. All they care is that you follow these arbitrary ass rules that somebody somewhere in some time came up with that we don't fucking know. You understand? You come here and they already got these rules set for you. Same thing with religion. You didn't have a say with what these rules was. Matter of fact, you didn't meet nobody who even wrote the rules. So you don't know who wrote these rules. You don't know when they wrote the rules. You don't know why they wrote the rules, but you following the rules. You ain't had no say so in this shit. Yeah. This shit's stupid. Carrie Brown. Peace, Carrie. Carrie say just checking you out. Divine Maxine says, so should we have a lawful marriage to reap the worldly benefits, if any? Well, see, this is the thing, Divine. When you put the government in your marriage, it is no longer just you and him. It's you, him, and the government. It's like saying we can't control our own affairs. We want you to control our affairs for us. That's why before you get a divorce, you got to go ask permission to get a divorce. Then sometimes they'll tell you, well, you got to be separated at least 6 months to formally get a divorce from this person. So, Divine, to be honest with you, I don't think the form of marriage that we have today is scripturally correct. If you a scriptural type person, I don't think it's morally correct, ethically correct. I don't think it's naturally correct. I don't think it's correct in any kind of way because, see, what balance is the demand and supply. Supply and demand. You understand? You got demand on one end of the seesaw and supply on the other end of the seesaw. The government seeks to be your sole supplier of every motherfucking thing. See, you got to be careful who's supplying you of your needs, who are fulfilling your demands, because whoever's supplying you has control and rulership over you. You understand? And see, that's the difference between a human and a God. See, a human will have demands on one side of the seesaw. Y'all know what a seesaw is, huh? Yeah, with the little cheering and they go up and down. Yeah. A human will have demands on one side of the seesaw, but they got to get the supply from outside of themselves. You understand? But a God will have demands on one side and the supply supplied by him or herself on the other side. That means I may need love, but I don't have to look outside my motherfucking self for love. You understand? I give myself love, so I demand it and I motherfucking supply it. You see what I'm saying? I may need food, but I don't have to go to the grocery store where it's been cows and chicken piled up in a fucking a little 4x4 box and shit, where it's fruits that have been sprayed with pesticides and every other aside in the world. No, I got my own garden. I supply my own food. I might need information. You understand? I demand information. But I don't have to go to pastor. I don't have to go to you, him, the book. None of that shit for my information. My information bubbles up from within myself. I use my critical thinking skills and observe my surroundings. You understand? Wisdom all around us. Do we have the ability to pick up on it though? And so that's the difference between the human and the God. Everybody got demands, but a God supplies his own demands separate from other people. And this is how the government and religion and shit worm their way into your life. It's because you have demands, but you have no way of supplying them to yourself. And so a good parent, what a good parent would do is set themselves up in such a way to where their children doesn't have to act outside of the family, outside of themselves for too much shit. You see, because what you don't give them at home, they get somewhere else. Same thing with a husband and a wife. What you don't give them at home, they get somewhere else. You see, so if you're going to be as one flesh, if you're going to be truly married, then your wife and your husband, if they got demands, they should not have to go any motherfucking where else for the supply. And see, that's where marriages get fucked up at, is whenever you have demands for love and your husband or wife don't want to supply that shit. You got demands for sex, you have sexual needs, but your husband and wife don't want to supply that shit. You see, it's like a seesaw. You got a big demand for love, right? So boom, the seesaw plop all the way down to the ground. The other end is all the way up in the sky. Now see, your husband or your wife sit on the other end. If it don't go all the way down, or at least go balanced where it's midway, you find yourself having to tack on an extra nigga or extra bitch just to get some extra love. You feel what I'm saying? And so herein lies the problem. You see, in nature, if you look out in nature, you will realize that the animals, you don't have to go to court. They don't go to court to marry each other. They actually have some monogamous animals who spend lifetimes with the other animal that they mate with. They don't have to go to court for that shit. They love each other and they want to be with each other. And whatever the case may be, I ain't never been in the animal's mind that I know of, but whatever the fuck they thinking, they just do what they got to do from the law that is within them, not a fucking law that they made outside of themselves. See what happens now with this law outside of us, not following the very law within us. Now we got to stay stuck with this motherfucker for 6 months. Why? Because Master said so. For what reason, we don't know. So you can endure some more motherfucking torture. So you can even have a bigger demand for sex and love and appreciation and all those other things than you had 6 months prior. You understand? Shit don't make sense to me. In nature, if it ain't working, they don't stick around. They move the fuck around. There's no problem with that. You understand? And this is another problem that I have with the law, is because by giving you external laws, it take away your internal law. In the same way, by giving you an external God, you don't even know you got an internal God no more. You understand? And so with this external law, you'll be more careful who the fuck you marry, who you lay down and have kids with. Because see, if you fuck around and get with somebody that ain't shit, then you're gonna have to suffer them consequences. And knowing that, you'll be more careful. You understand? You'll be more careful. But because they got this external law, now we fucking with these nuttin' ass niggas and nuttin' ass bitches and perpetuating that genetic code. Now you're making nuttin' ass motherfucking babies. I'm just saying. Don't shoot the messenger. It's the truth. But if we didn't have all that extra ass shit set up, you see, in the animal kingdom, they pick they mate off of can this motherfucker provide for me? Can he really protect me? Can he do all these other things? But see, we don't worry about protection from our husband now because we got the government. You see what I'm saying? We don't need him to protect us from the invaders. We call 911. You see? We don't need the we don't look for these type of characteristics in our mate anymore because of these pseudo ass systems that the government has set up to take the place of your husband and your wife as nature intended. But if shit was like it was supposed to be, we would only pick partners. Say if it's a woman looking for a man, she would pick a man who's strong enough to protect her, a man who is intelligent enough to build her a fucking shelter. But now, see, we got what's them home building realtor companies and shit now that build you your shelter. So you don't worry about whether the man can build some shit or not, whether he can fix some shit or not, because you can call Roto-Rooter, right? You can call all these extra ass different people to do that. So now, what's the criteria for picking a partner? What criteria do we use exactly? Because he make me feel good. She make me feel good. And it's only after you've been with him for so long that you realize this motherfucker ain't shit. And you living in a complete hell. But if they take away those pseudo systems, then we would become more responsible with our decision making, you see. Men would start picking women who look like she can be a good mother. She got a nurturing spirit about her. You understand? Someone who can comfort his spirit. That's right. Someone who can cook him up a good goddamn meal if McDonald's and Burger King wasn't on every corner. You understand? Somebody who can put love in his meal, because if you ain't learned from the study of the water that the person who's preparing it has a whole lot to do with the ingredients, okay? Just because it look good don't mean it's good. A bunch of teenagers preparing your food is not healthy for your body. I'm sorry. The food actually contains the frequency and the energetic signature of the person who actually prepared it. So you need to be eating food from people who love you, because they infuse your food with love. You understand? So a man would look for a woman who's got a lot of love, because he know that's going in his food, which is turning into his body. You understand? And a woman will find a man who's intelligent and who is strong and who can protect her. You understand? But know how to nurture her at the same time. Feel me? So the whole fucking marriage system we got now is some bullshit. We used to get married under the stars. You understand? That's why they call it a honeymoon you go on to. We didn't get married in a courthouse in front of some judge in a black robe. A black robe. Come on now. Even when you go to church and you get married, what they wearing? A black robe. You just putting that external God, who is the devil, in your fucking marriage. And when you get married in the courthouse or wherever you go, justice of peace, which is really the justice of war, you are putting the external law in your motherfucking marriage. That's unnecessary. It's unneedful. You know what you're saying? When I see shit like that, and I got married in front of the courthouse. I ain't gonna lie. That was before I didn't know no better back then. I know better now. But what I see when I see that shit, I see babies. That's what I see. People who really don't understand. Really don't understand. And it's not people's fault neither. We have to be patient with people. You understand? Because we came in, like the scriptures say, we was born in sin. All of our ass was born in this bullshit, this backwards ass thinking. It's funny how when you come to knowledge, you realize everything they taught you was generally wrong. Now, I'm going to say something that's probably going to hurt a lot of y'all feelings. It's going to fuck with your mortal fortitude. It's going to mess with your little conscience. But I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway. It's a little unorthodox, but you ever heard of a hoe? You ever heard that term? Oh, she a hoe. She a hoe. You ever heard of that? Well, you see, your mind is a garden. Your mind is a garden. And peep this. See, you got demands. You got demands. Now, it's just like with food. See, when you hungry, who the fuck want to eat the same meal every night? Now, I'm not saying, I'm married. I love my husband. And I eat the same meal every night. But this is the thing, though. They got a lot of people who are married to people who are not supplying their demands. You understand? And they find themselves in hell. They don't know what to do. Religion say stick it out. You understand? The court system say you got to wait 6 months. You feel what I'm saying? They stuck in hell because they got demands. Real live demands, desires that are burning their fucking soul. It's the reason why Frankie Beverly and May say fire and desire. Because it is indeed a fire. But the way they set shit up is to where you can't even supply your own needs without guilt eating your ass up. You can't supply your own needs without the church eating your ass up. You can't supply your own needs without them locking your ass up into jail. You understand? We want to get on the drug dealers, but let's think about this critically now. Drug dealers are entrepreneurs. See, they got demands. They babies got a hungry mouth sitting at the house open for them. Now, religion say don't go that route. The law say, the external law say don't go that route. The external God say don't go that route. But you see, it's something. You ever wonder why women are just attracted to what they call thugs, drug dealers, the bad boy? Well, that's because everything is opposite. What is considered bad in this realm is actually good. I know that's hard. That's hard for people to grasp, but it's the truth. Some people have demands and they don't wait on you to supply them. They supply their own demands. Now, I know you think it's bad, but I'm going to just say this too. And I'm not advocating drugs in any way, shape, or form. But what I am saying this, drug dealers don't force you to buy them drugs. They not selling shit that somebody is not willing to buy. Because see, the crack fiend has a demand and the drug dealer has got the supply. All I'm saying is this world is all about supply and demand. And what the government has meticulously done is whizzled and weaseled their ass into everything so that they're the sole suppliers. They have a monopoly on your food. They got a monopoly on your air. They got a monopoly on your marriage. They got a monopoly on your children. Yes, they own your children. Did you know that? If they didn't own your children, they couldn't just come fucking pick them up, could they? No, they couldn't. But they do when and if they want to. When they decide that you ain't parenting according to their standards. Grasp what I'm saying. Grasp what I'm saying. Yeah. Let me read some of these comments. Selena Willis says they was about to take my husband to jail over a 6.25 reinstatement. Ain't that some shit? Yeah, that's about right, Selena Willis. That's about right. See, because just like external gods, see, in the Old Testament, they got over 630 rules. Ejaculating in your sleep is a sin. Ejaculating in your sleep, having a wet dream is a sin. Everything but breathing is a sin. So too with the law. You ever read them law books? Probably not. You know why? Because there's too much bullshit in there. You'll never get to the end of it. They got laws for the laws, for the laws, for the laws. You understand? And so the idea here is fuck all your rules and fuck all your laws. I'm a law unto myself. I am a God unto myself. Now, does that mean I'm a godless being? No, it does not. That means God resides within me and tells me what I need to do and when I need to do it. You understand? Just like God resides in the animals. Y'all think the shit is a game, but who shows the ducks and geese and shit where to go when wintertime comes? They got internal GPS. See, we don't have internal GPS because we got external GPS now. You understand what I'm saying? We don't have Wi-Fi where we can file share with each other anymore because we got Wi-Fi where we can file share with each other. You understand? We don't have our internal God anymore because they gave us an external God and said, here's your God. We don't know how to self-govern anymore because we got the government to govern us. See, it's the funny thing about humans that, you see, if you throw their ass out in the water, one or two things going to happen. They're going to either learn how to swim or their ass going to sink. Darwin called that the survival of the fittest. That means that only the superior genes get to pass on. You understand? Yeah. And that's how it should be. But now they got people. Listen, y'all, I know this shit sound rough, raw, and uncut, and that's exactly what it is. But I'm just trying to be real with you. They got people who out here, they got people want to kill themselves. You know they will lock your ass up in jail for wanting to kill yourself. Now, let me tell you this. This going to sound harsh. It's going to sound really, really harsh, but I'm going to say it anyway. Some genetics aren't meant to be passed on. I'm going to say that again. Some genetics just aren't meant to be passed on. And so you need to let people do what the fuck they're being told to do from the inside because we don't understand everything. You understand? From our limited vision down here, we don't understand everything. And so we need to just let nature do what nature does best. But we've incorporated all these different rules and regulations that basically stand in the way of God's work. Let's just be real about it. And when I say God, I'm talking about the spirit that pervades all matter here. That's the kind of God I'm talking about. Yeah. Now, yeah, that's some bullshit, Selena. Now listen to this. They was finna put Selena's husband in a small little box, a cold ass box with bars on it for a 6.25 reinstatement. And you know they got some people out here who really believe that shit is okay, that is cool. They really believe that's cool. Brandon says, you only give them power over you if you give it to them. Exactly, Brandon. Exactly. But some people don't realize that they actually have the power to take their power back. And that's in religion as well as with the government. You see, when they pull you over and they tell you to sit down, you ask where. When they tell you to jump, you say how high. When they tell you got to get this, you say okay. When they say you got to go pay that, you say okay. You don't ask no questions. You understand? No questions. And the same thing with religion. They gave us this religion. We came here, the shit was already set up, but you didn't ask no questions. Who wrote this Bible? Who wrote this Quran? Who wrote these rules exactly? I know they told you Moses, but have you ever sat down and talked with Moses? Do you realize that you were subjected to rules and regulations before you ever agreed to do that? And because they say that's the right way, that's the right rules. But you notice how every religion think they got the right way and nobody else does. Every government think they the best government and everybody else's government is shit. Same thing. They're all frauds. Yeah, all frauds. Jaquita says, one pastor told me I didn't understand just because when she touched my forehead, I didn't fall on the floor. You know, and Jaquita, I do believe in the baptism of the Holy Spirit where you receive an infusion of energy like an electrical bolt going through your body. You know, you see them shaking and falling on the floor and things like that. I do believe in that in a sense because, you know, we did that back in the day before all of this bullshit was ever set up. But we used to do it around a fire. You understand? When we was worshiping God, and by God, I mean the creator and sustainer and preserver and destroyer of all of nature, you see? And this is why we worship. Church was nature. The ceiling was the stars. And so we did do that. And, you know, that's just well, I'm not going to go into that explaining what all that is, but it is a real phenomenon. But yeah, pastors do. And another thing with pastors, you'll ask them questions and when they don't know the answer, they'll say shit like God is mysterious God. You don't need to question God. See, that's that bullshit right there. You don't need to question. Hold on, wait a minute. Didn't the scripture say to test every spirit? Didn't it say that? And is not God's spirit? Is not God's spirit according to the scriptures? And the scripture says, test every spirit. That includes the creator of all spirits, the spirit of spirits. You understand? And so you need to be testing the spirits. Don't question God. Really? Peace, Alicia. Peace. Secure Precious Offset L says, don't care about this long ass record I have. Got folks looking at me crazy before they even see me. Yeah, Secure, the record, you know, that long ass record, it's just like the long ass record the church keep on you and your church friends. There's no justice in it. There's no justice in it at all. None. Latoya says, that's why I don't believe in religion. I believe in God, but not the church, aka religion. I was thrown out the choir because I was pregnant and not married. See, Latoya, that's that bullshit right there. Now, according to what they tell you, they say church is supposed to be a hospital, right? For ailing souls. Now, Latoya says she got pregnant out of wedlock. Now, surely there was enough shame in the church. Because when you go to church, you know the fucking rules. You know what I'm saying? You know what they gonna say about you when you go back to church pregnant and you ain't married yet. So the shame and the guilt ain't enough to wear your ass down. Now they gonna kick you out the choir because surely you can't sing for God if you pregnant and not married. Well, what kind of hospital is that? What kind of hospital do you have to get yourself well before going there? Answer me that shit. What kind of hospital you got to be completely healthy to walk through the door? Or are they going to turn your ass around? Answer that question for me. Not a very good hospital, I'll tell you that much. Now, that's not to say every church is like that. I actually have went to a few churches. There's one in Westlake for sure that I know in my area that's not like that. You understand? That really, like they say, come as you are. They accept you as you are. You feel what I'm saying? And they help you to grow. They don't judge you. They allow the real judge to judge you because your own conscience judges you. Scripture says if your conscience judges you not, you have boldness to go to the throne of grace. You understand? And so who the hell are these other extra ass people to be judging you on what you're doing? There's a difference between evaluating and judging, by the way. I just want to throw that out here. There's a difference between evaluating and judging. I do not subscribe to judging others. What judging others is when you say you see somebody walk in the corner store and they got, I don't know, black hair, black fingernail polish, chain wallet on, tattoos everywhere. And you're like, oh, that's a bad person. That's judging. Evaluating is totally different. Evaluating is spending a little time with that person and kind of seeing where their mind at and what they know and what they believe and how they feel, and evaluating whether this person is beneficial for you or not. It's a difference. But see, church folks judge. That's what they do for the most part. Religious folks judge, not spiritual people. Religious. Kicked her out the choir because she was pregnant and not married. Now, wouldn't that be the time for these so-called church folks to, caress your soul and talk to you and basically aid you back to health? But no, they throw you out the fucking choir. Ain't that something? Aristotle says statism, a bunch of bullshit. Exactly, Aristotle, statism. And that's what people don't realize, bro. The government is your God. For the most part, most people, not mine, but the government is your God. Your God says that it's not right to kill another human being unless he's threatened your life or harmed you in some kind of way. Yet you will put on a uniform and go overseas and kill a whole bunch of strangers who've done you nothing because somebody on TV said that somebody not on TV said that these people are terrorists. Really? Okay. Your conscience don't eat you up for that shit, though. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Yeah, money and muscle. Rich Pepper Farm Coleman. GG, peace. Thank you for tuning in. Secure says them dead. Yeah, they dead. That's the difference between the Ankh and the cross. See, the cross is a beheaded Ankh. That means you don't have no fucking mind. You've been decapitated. Your head is gone. Your Savior has been crucified. You understand? And that's the difference between those who rock the cross and those who rock the Ankh. Those who rock the Ankh, they got a head. Their Savior is present and accounted for. You understand what I'm saying? And you can't just lead them people astray. Facts. Yeah, they Secure says they still writing that shit up. Yeah, they change the laws every day, just like religion keep changing the rules every fucking day. You feel what I'm saying? Keep changing the rules. Kill that waste man. GG. Yes, I got that electricity. Yeah, it's a real phenomenon, Secure. The baptism of the Holy Spirit. It's a real phenomenon. And that's not to say you can't go to church and not get nothing. Don't get me twisted now. Religion, church, all of that fuckery has its place. In the same way that being housed in a body has its place. There's a time and a place for all things. But people getting trapped in religion like in a coffin. You understand? Like some people get trapped in the body like a coffin. They just keep reincarnating, jumping from religion to religion, from body to body. At some point, you need to just be in pure consciousness, pure spirituality, without without the constraints of religion to bind back your mind. And sometimes you need to not be in a body so you can see the bigger picture. Just be pure spirit without a body to bind back your spirit. Feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Divine Maxine say, question everything. Exactly, Divine Maxine. You see, that's especially if you're a woman, you become Wonder Woman. Huh? This will give you superpowers. Wonder Woman. Begin to wonder about your wonderful world because it's full of wonder. Begin to wonder about everything. Question everything you're told. Just like I always say, it's just like Halloween. You think these holidays are here for no reason? They're here for a reason. Halloween gives you in full display yourself. You running around here in the ego, which is just a mask. This is where they get the word person from. Person, because the mask that they used to wear back in the day when they had the amphitheaters, before they had television, they would put on plays and shit, and it was called the persona was the mask that they was wearing. So that's where we get the word person. Your ego is just a mask that your eternal spirit wears. And you go from house to house looking for information, aka treats. But sometimes your ass get a trick. See, back in the day, in the late 80s, early 90s, they told you to inspect your candy when your children went trick-or-treating because they was putting razors in it, poison in the candy, and all kind of shit. And the same thing is true today. As you going ringing on everybody's Facebook doorbell and shit, ringing on everybody's church doorbell, you need to inspect the information that they giving you, because some of that information got razors in it. Some of it is laced with poison. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Grasp what I'm saying. Question everything. You know, they say hope will lure your ass to your death. Hope and trust will lure you to your death. I'm here to tell you. Hope and trust. Don't trust nobody. I know that's hard. I know it's hard because it makes you feel alone in the world, that like you can't trust nobody. But the truth of the matter is you really, really can't. You really can't. You can't even trust your fucking self half of the time. How the hell can you trust other people? You don't even know what the hell you gonna do. How the hell you know what they gonna do? Don't trust nobody. Hope and trust will sing like the Pied Piper. Will play the tune while you dance right into your damn death. We got to become vigilant. Get your mind back. Put your thinking caps on, like they say. Use your head for more than just a hat and wig rack. Feel me? Question every don't even accept the shit I say. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Don't even accept the shit I say. Check my shit. You understand? Because I'm in the forest looking out. Sometimes I get above the forest and I can see. I'm not by any means saying I know every damn thing. No, I don't have it all figured out. I'm figuring it out like y'all figuring it out. I done figured out more than some people, and some people figured out more than me. You understand? So don't trust every fucking thing I say. I don't know every fucking thing neither. That's where we fall into problems, trusting everything these people say because they say they got the bottom line. Yeah, it looks like the end all to be all from their perspective, but it ain't. You understand? Some of y'all digress and listen to these fools. Some of y'all are past me and shouldn't even be listening to me. And if that's the case, then move on. Shit. You feel me? If you know more than me, then move on. I'll catch up. Don't wait for me. I'll catch up. You feel me? Shit. It's levels to this shift. Like young Pharaoh say. It's levels to this shift. Now I notice all kind of people being bent out of shape because some little video came out about young Pharaoh. Some expose video and shit. And look, here's the deal. Here's the deal. I'm human, young Pharaoh human, nature boy human. All us motherfuckers is human. Understand, we can operate in our God self, but at the end of the day, we're still operating through an ego, which is human. You understand? And so we have human issues in life. The idea is not to praise the messenger. Not to praise the messenger. Just take the fucking message. You understand? Take your tidbits. It's like a buffet. I don't have to be perfect to prepare you a delicious ass meal, do I? No, I don't. So I don't have to be perfect to give you bits of information that I have learned and pieces of wisdom and knowledge that I've learned along the way. So too with all the rest of these people. We fall into problems where we begin to worship these people like all infallible gods, not realizing that God is within you. There's no God greater than the God that is in you. There's no being greater than you. I don't care how much shit he think he know. You understand? I'm never going to be greater than you, period. I don't give a damn what I done taught you, what I done told you, what I done made you aware of, what I done gave you or taken away. You understand? Nothing, no one is more important and more special and more beautiful than you. Facts. It's motherfucking facts. You could expose anybody. You could expose anybody and everybody. Nobody in this bitch is perfect. Period. Now, it's y'all, and when I say y'all, I'm hopefully not talking about y'all, not the people listening to me. I'm just using this blanket ass term, but not y'all. I know not y'all. I'm talking about the brother motherfuckers. The problem come in at is when they really believe these people is some type of God, but they make them an external God. Yes, they're a God in and of their own self, but they not my motherfucking God. You understand? And we got to begin to say that to ourselves. Yes, they got good information, but no information is better than the information that I've garnished from myself. That goes back to the gaudio I was trying to do earlier before Facebook fucked it all up. You understand? It's like the three little pigs. One had straw, one had wood, one had brick. You understand that your own personal experience is the brick. I can give you straw to build your belief system with, your internal house. I can give you wood, but only you can give yourself gold or brick, real experience. You understand? And the storms of life will come against you. And it's not what he went through that's going to help you. It's not what you read in the book, no matter how good the book was, whether it's the Quran, the Bible, the Bhagavad Gita, the Emerald Tablets of Thought. I don't give a damn what book it was. It's no better than your own personal experience. You understand? Now, the problem with personal experience is a lot of times you got to fall before you actually get it. You understand? It's like learning how to walk. You got to fall 1,000,000 times before you learn how to gain your balance. And so too in life, you fall so many fucking times before you gain balance in life that we don't want to try to walk no more. We want to watch this motherfucker walk. We want to read about how he walked and how his walk was. You understand? But it's only your own personal experience that will save you from the storms of life. It's only the wisdom that you gain from personal direct experience that you build your spiritual house with that will stand the test of time, that will stand the huffing and the puffing of life trying to knock your ass down. Grasp what I'm saying. So spend less time on Facebook, less time in Bible book, less time in Quran book, less time in any other book but the book of life, whom you are. You got a spine just like a book. You know, like in a book, you could look on the spine and you could tell the author of the book. You could tell all kinds of shit by just looking at the spine of the book. So too your spine. You take the crooked places and make them straight. What am I talking about? I'm talking about your spine so you can stand up tall, not like a man, but like a God. Didn't I tell you that ye are gods? You have no need for no man to give you anything, because from now on, you are going to begin to supply those things for yourself. Everybody got demands, but can you supply your own needs? While you out here trying to make fire, do you realize that you are fire? While you out here trying to find God, do you realize that you are God? While you out here trying to follow law, do you realize that you are law? While you out here trying to find love, do you realize that you are love? While you out here trying to make yourself perfect, do you realize that you are perfect right fucking now? Right now, not tomorrow, not when you change your diet, not when you change your hair, right now. I know they told you that God make mistakes. And when they said that, they was telling the truth. Their God, the one that resides within them, makes mistakes. But I'm here to tell you that my God does not make any mistakes, my baby. My God does not make any mistakes, and neither does yours. As you believe, it is done unto you. Do you understand that Jesus in the scripture never healed anybody, and neither can no other man heal you? No other man can heal you. No other man can make you whole. No other man can do none of that shit. Like the scripture says, baby, your faith makes you whole. Your faith has healed you. So while you're getting shit, while you're getting data, and while you're getting knowledge, get yourself some wisdom. And what is wisdom? Wisdom is faith, true faith. Not faith that says I cannot, but faith that says I can. Not faith that says I'm imperfect, but faith that says I am perfect now. And as you believe, it will be done unto you. Why are you waiting for your perfection? Why are you putting stipulations on your perfection? Well, if I eat this, I'm perfect. Haven't you learned about frequency and vibration? You vibe to the frequency you want to inhabit. It's called pretending. Pre means before, tend means to inhabit. You got to pretend. You understand? That means you tell yourself, today, I am perfect right now, and watch and see if perfect don't chase your ass down and overtake you. You tell yourself, I'm rich and in abundance right now, today, even if you ain't got no fucking job and you living under a box, you inhabit that frequency today, and watch and see if wealth and abundance don't chase your ass down and take you over. David says it's like this: surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. He didn't say I'ma chase mercy and goodness down. He say mercy and goodness gonna chase me down. You know why? Because his shepherd leads him beside still waters. What kind of shepherd you got? Because you the shepherd. Did you know that? You shepherd in your own mind. Where the hell are you taking your mind? Are you leading it beside still waters? Therefore, goodness and mercy is following it? Or are you taking it by turbulent waters where people are telling you that you got to do this to be this? You got to do that to do that. That's just like church. You got to have skirts on for God to love you and accept you. You got to, if you're a woman, don't cut your hair. God will not love you and accept you. And if you're a man, you better not have long hair. Before you're righteous. Now in the conscious community, they say you got to have dreadlocks and you got to be a vegan. And all kind of other shit they tell you got to do. Well, I submit to you the idea that as your faith is, it is done unto you. Not as your diet, not as your hair, but as your faith. You occupy the frequency right now. What does that mean, Crystal? That means you tell yourself that you are perfect right now in the midst of your imperfections, your so-called perceived imperfections. You tell yourself today, right now, I am perfect just as I am. And watch and see if perfection don't come to you. That shit gonna chase you down and overtake you. Even if you tried to be imperfect, you couldn't be it if you wanted to. Yeah. Exactly. Fuck them limiting beliefs, bruh. Tired of this shit. Everywhere all over Facebook, they're telling you got to do this and got to do that and got to do all this other bullshit in order to be perfect, in order to be righteous, in order to be accepted. And you don't realize that by believing that, then that's exactly what the fuck it is. That you got to do this and you got to do that before being perfect. But if you could ever just train your mind to believe, to just believe that you're perfect right now, you will begin to see your life transform and perfection will be all around you. If you believe that you are righteous right now, then righteousness will begin to be all around you. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you how this go. See, what happened was in religion, they gave everybody the law. They gave everybody a law. They say, don't lust, don't be covetous, and this and that and the other thing. But they found out something. They made a mistake. They truly did. They found out something because they thought by giving everybody the law that everybody was going to start following the law. But they found out something about the human heart, which is this. When you tell the human heart no, immediately whatever you told it no to, it wants to do that. If you are a smoker, the moment you say you're going to quit smoking cigarettes is the moment you start smoking double of what the fuck you were smoking before. If you've been cheating, and the moment you said, I'm going to leave them alone, is the moment you crave them in the deep parts of your soul. You understand? Whenever you say don't lust after something, that's when you find yourself lusting even more. The Apostle Paul said it like this. He says, the things that I want to do, I find myself doing the opposite. You understand? It's something about the human heart. When you tell it no, it does exactly what you told it not to do. So then they came up with Jesus. They said, well, damn, this fucked up. We gave them the law, thought it was going to save them and make them do good. And it actually turned out now shit is worse than it was before. How the fuck can we fix it? You see what I'm saying? We done told them God came up with this law. So we can't say, well, shit, God is perfect. We can't say God done changed his mind or God made a mistake. We can't say that. So we'll just blame it on them. We'll say, oh, y'all was just too fucked up to fulfill the law. That's what we'll say. We can't blame it on God because God's supposed to be perfect, right? So y'all was too fucked up to fulfill the law. So how are they going to fix this problem? How are they going to get rid of the law that they say that God gave us? How are they going to do that? I'll tell you how. They said, well, then God came up with this idea. He going to send his son to die, right? And so since Jesus has died, we're freed from the law. So Jesus is their counter, what's the word I want to use here? Oh, shit. Y'all know the word I'm trying to say here. Well, Jesus is counteracting what the law done, which was basically get in your heart and stir up all kind of malice and shit. Because soon as you tell the children, don't eat the cookies on the counter, they looking for every opportunity to get to them goddamn cookies. You understand? Soon as you tell a man, don't be looking at women's asses, every jiggly ass that come by, his eyeballs just automatically attracted. He can't even help himself. You understand what I'm saying? Shit like that. And so they came up with the Jesus idea. They said, okay, now y'all ain't got to worry about the law because Jesus came and died. And so now the law is done away with. You see, they had to do that because by giving us the law, we automatically got worse. So they say, well, Jesus came and died. And so now the law is done away with. Don't even worry about paying attention to that law. Now, you're just righteous. And there's wisdom in that, y'all. What is the wisdom in that? The wisdom is the scripture truly tells you that I am the righteousness of God in Christ. And you're supposed to believe that. That means I am perfect because Christ is perfect. What's the wisdom there? It's getting you into the frequency of being perfect. That's what it is. It's getting to believe that you're accepted because you couldn't believe that you were accepted with your imperfections. I'm all fucked up. God can't accept me. Not according to what they told me anyway, right? But now they figured out a way to where you can accept yourself vicariously and believe that you are righteous. Why? Because as you believe, it is done unto you. It's wisdom in that. Now, you don't have to go that route, but it actually works. If you can believe that Jesus died for your sins, or Horus, or whoever you want to believe died for your sins, so now that God sees you as perfect, you'll begin to see yourself as perfect. And then guess what? You'll actually fucking be perfect because the frequency that you are carrying, the vibration that you are carrying will actually attract to you. You're like a magnet, my baby. You're literally like a magnet. And if you start vibrating on the I'm perfect, I'm righteous, regardless of why, whether it was Jesus who made you righteous or you who made you righteous, whoever made you righteous, whatever you believe you righteous. And therefore righteousness overtakes you. Facts. It's balance. All of this world is balance. If you're righteous on the inside, there will be an equal and opposite reaction. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. What does that mean? If you feel like you're righteous on the inside, then you will see an equal but opposite righteousness outside of you. Seesaw. One side of the seesaw is in you, one side is outside of you. If you think you're unrighteous and unholy and unfinished and undone on the inside, that's exactly what the fuck you gonna see on the outside because it's balanced. Seesaw. Grasp what I'm saying. You see it, now you saw it. You saw it, now you see it. So there's wisdom in the whole Jesus story if you can believe it. But you don't need that. If you could just believe you're righteous as you are, if you could just believe you're perfect as you are, if you could just believe that God does not make mistakes, if you just could believe that you are the book of life, then that's exactly what you'll be. No man can save you. Your faith, your belief saves you. Period. Take that how you want. Go back and look if you think I'm lying. Go back and read. Facts. Now let me read some of these comments. See what I got. Let's see what I got. Aristotle says, speaking facts as always, God. I try to bring the real. I might not be on point all the time. Again, I'm subjected to human, human shit like everybody else. I upgrade my knowledge as I go, So like I say, bro, don't even trust the shit I'm telling you, bro. Because what I say, what's balanced for me may not be balanced for you. There's one size does not fucking fit all. I don't care what they told you. With religion, law, with love, with nothing. One size does not fit all. You feel me? And so what's balanced for me is not balanced for you. What demands I have internally is not the same demands you have internally. Same thing with diet. You see, it's all about supply and demand. My body demands something different than your body demands. So I'm not fitting my diet according to what you said is healthy for you. Because your body is different from my body. My body might demand more fucking protein. My body might demand more fruits and vegetables. So in order for me to be balanced, I need to supply what the fuck my body demands, not what yours demand. You understand? And so too in spirituality or whatever you want to call it, my spirit might demand something more than yours demand. And so, therefore, what works for you spiritually might not work for me. It might not balance me out because my demands are different. My demands might be heavier than yours. And so your form of spirituality might not level the seesaw like it should. You see what I'm saying? I might take some shit you said and add it with some shit he said, and that might level out my spiritual demands. We got to learn to be truly balanced. Balance don't mean I give as much attention to good thoughts as bad thoughts so it can be equal on both sides. Balance don't mean I do good shit and bad shit so it can be equal on both sides. No, it just means I understand what my spirit and my body demands, and therefore I'm going to supply it outside of myself. I got internal demands. The supply is outside. So the inside got to be equal with the outside. If I'm demanding some shit, but it's not being supplied, I'm not balanced. If I'm demanding love and it's not being supplied by my husband or whoever the fuck else is in my life, then that means I'm living an unbalanced life and I'm experiencing hell. If I'm demanding some food and nutrition and I can't get it outside of myself, that means I'm living an unbalanced, hellacious lifestyle. You understand? That's what hell is having demands with no supplies. And heaven is having less demands with more supplies. You understand? And this is why I say, learn to lighten your load, my G. Lighten your load. The less you demand, the more you can provide for yourself. The problem is that they done taught you to demand so much shit, you can't even supply the shit you demanding. Because you demanding a whole bunch of unnatural shit. That's why your children demanding a whole bunch of unnatural shit. Come December 31st, they demand all of these unnatural ass man-made toys. So now you got to work overtime and under time and into time just to get the damn toys that your children is demanding. Because they got the demands are more than you could motherfucking supply. Do you understand? So you got to learn to train your children to demand less. Give them less and they'll demand less. Same thing with your mind. You got to take away some of them demands. You basically, when you done, see, this is what conscious is about. It's not about adding more shit. It's actually about taking some shit away. You understand? Let me say that again, because that's a powerful point. Being conscious is not about adding more shit in your life. You already cluttered to capacity. It's about taking some shit away. What away, Crystal? The demands. You understand? You won't need the government if you didn't demand Coca-Cola all the goddamn time. You wouldn't need the government if you didn't demand all this to be entertained 24/7. You understand what I'm telling you? You got to decrease your demands. The only thing at the bottom of the barrel, when you have truly pruned yourself, they call it pruning, huh? Ain't that what they call that shit? Pruning. When you have pruned yourself, cut away all that extra shit, the only thing that you will be demanding is water, proper nutrition, fresh air, and love. And all of those things have already been provided for you. There's water in abundance everywhere. If the government didn't fucking put their hand in it. There's air all around you if the government wasn't putting fucking chemtrails everywhere. You understand? There's nutrition everywhere, hanging off the trees, growing in the fields. If the government didn't put their hand in every fucking thing. You feel what I'm saying? And there would also be love if the government didn't teach you and your religions didn't teach you that something was fucking wrong with you. Then you wouldn't have this empty ass hole looking for validation from every Tom, Dick, and Harry in the country. You grasp what I'm saying? So you like a thirsty ass ocean is what you is. A thirsty ass ocean because you don't realize that you are water. You just like this picture here. If you one of them folks, you out here trying to supply some shit that you demand, but you already got the supply within you. See the little lighter there? He clearly wants some heat. And he trying to supply himself with that heat, but he don't understand who he really is. See, you trying to supply yourself with love. You jumping from Tom, Dick, and Harry and shit like that because you need love and friendship and things like that. Not realizing who you are. Decrease your demands so that you can supply whatever it is that you demand. Decrease your demands. I want you to take an inventory of all the things that you think you need to be happy. I'm going to say that again. I want you to do an inventory of all the things you think you need to be happy. And that's the shit you need to start cutting off. The conscious community told you cut off your mama. She ain't shit. She taught you this Babylonian system. Fuck her. That's what the conscious community is all but saying these day and age, which is a bunch of bullshit. Your mama did the best she could with what she had, with her limited understanding. Damn it. You understand? They telling you to cut off your family. They telling you to cut off your friends. But what they not telling you to do is cut off all these extra ass demands you got. You demand all this type of attention. You demand to be entertained. You even demand knowledge. You don't realize that your demand for information, knowledge, and wisdom is putting you in a state of vulnerability. Why? Because you cannot provide the type of knowledge, understanding, and wisdom that you are demanding. Either that or you're too damn impatient to wait for it to be revealed to you from within. So you run into me, run into him, run into her. You grasp what I'm saying? I'm spitting facts now. Spitting that ether. Yeah, that's right. You got demands. Don't even think that your demand for information is not making you vulnerable. Yes, it is. Because whoever is supplying it got the upper hand. You understand? Facts. Critical thinking, people. Decrease your demands. Declutter your life. Still your mind. Calm your fucking soul. You understand? And mercy and goodness will follow you. You won't have to follow it. You won't have to search it out with a flashlight. You won't be looking under every rock and in every Facebook post and Instagram and everywhere else for it. It will chase you down. All you got to do is lead your mind by still waters. Stay away from folks who are throwing rocks in your mind. What do I mean by that? Your mind is like a pond. And you reflect better when the water is still. I'm going to say that again. Your mind is like an ocean or a pond, and you reflect better when your mind is still. But all of these Facebook conscious, so-called conscious community leaders and every fucking body else is throwing rocks in your water, telling you got to do this, you got to do that. What you think that is but rocks in your water. They're flies in your ointment. Do you understand that? And now you got even more demands than you had before. Now you got to figure out how to stop liking meat. Now you got to figure out how to buy this expensive ass healthy food. Now you got to figure out how to do this and that and all this other shit. When all you got to do, baby, is write the vision and make it plain. What does that mean? In your mind. I don't mean write it on a piece of paper, even though that's helpful. I mean write the vision in your mind's eye. See it. My people die for lack of vision. See it, smell it, hear it, and believe it. Whatever it is you want to be, Write the vision, make it plain, calm your mind so you can reflect that shit in your life. It's just that fucking simple. I know. They make it so complicated. That's what the true gospel is, huh? The gospel means the good news. Yeah, that's what the gospel is. It's the good news. Is that your mind actually is over matter. It really, really is. It's so hard for people to believe that shit. But it really actually is. And as your faith is, it is done unto you. You see, they had that woman that was in the scripture. It says she was bleeding for 12 years. It says she went up and touched the hem of Jesus' garment, and he felt the virtue go out of her. And he turned to her and he said, "Daughter, by your faith you have been made whole." Even with the centurion that came to him with the son that was lying dead in the bed. See, they believed in Jesus. It wasn't Jesus that saved them. It was their belief that this man had done something. So they got into the frequency of it. You understand? If you can believe that Jesus healed you, then that means you're in the frequency of that healing, and that healing will be attracted to you because you like a magnet. Not that Jesus did anything at all. Your belief did that. You got on the vibration of healing, and healing then came to you like a magnet. In the same way that if you can believe what I am telling you, and if you can believe that you are actually perfect, which I am telling you, you are perfect right now, today, in your mess. I am preparing a table before you in the presence of the enemies of your soul. And I'm letting you know that you're perfect right now. And if you can believe me, if you can just believe me, it's not me that's making you perfect. You make yourself perfect by your frequency. Your vibe attracts your tribe because you are a magnet. Yes. Woo. I see a lot of affirmations here. Let me check these comments out. I know I read a comment, go off in a tangent. Peace, Zena. Peace. Islam, sis. I'm doing well, sis. See how I've been tricked talking about that Halloween. Yeah, let me tell you something else, too. This is neither here nor there, but I'm going to drop this here anyway. Y'all know the whole Christmas holiday? Y'all know the whole Christmas tree and all that shit? You see, they hide the truth of you in plain sight. If you look at the Christmas tree, the skirt of the Christmas tree is the flat earth plane. It's in plain sight. You understand? The flat earth plane. Then the Christmas tree usually got a white outer boarding. The inside is red like Santa Claus suit, and the boarding is white. That's the Arctic Circle. And then there's a hole right in the middle of the skirting of the Christmas tree. That's called the North Pole. And see, out of that North Pole comes a green Christmas tree. That's the aurora borealis lights that you see out in the north. That comes from the black hole at the center of this plane. Okay? And you notice that on the tip of the Christmas tree, you'll see some shiny ass balls. I want you to understand that that's the planets. And right at the top of the Christmas tree, right above the hole, we always put a star at the top of the Christmas tree. I want you to know that's the Polaris star that never moves. Grasp what I'm saying. And then we put presents under the Christmas tree on top of the skirting. I want you to know that's me and you. Me and you, because we are the presence of God. Yes, we are. We are the presence who are sitting on the flat earth plane. Grasp what I'm saying. It's all hidden in plain sight. All of your holidays, Halloween, Christmas, all that shit means something. All of it. Malcolm X archetype stay peeking out the window. Secure process. What it is. Gigi says, I feel you. Joseph Whitfield says, I feel you. Facts. Raw. Secure Precious Offset L says, yes, they ain't prophets. Peep game. Think about the word prophets. See, the universe, they taught us spelling. But see, spelling is a spell to trick you into thinking you saying different shit. Because it's spelled differently. But you're not. When you say profit, Profit, like gaining money, a profit, understand that it's the same thing as a prophet. Grasp. Yeah. Todd. Peace, Todd. Lynn Woods. Facts. Secure says, I supply my demand. Let's go. Facts, secure. And that's the difference between a God and a human. Now, don't get it twisted. When I say I am God, that's not to mean that there's no higher self. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is me and my higher self are one flesh. Facts. Yeah. Exactly, secure. Secure says love and hate can never be friends. Pull up. What else I got? I am perfect. I am righteous. Exactly. And see, we got to begin to train our mind. Your mind is like a kid. Your mind is like a kid. It literally, it needs training. It needs instructor. It needs a parent. Parentity. It needs a parent to guide it. So, a practice I used to do a while back, which really helped me. Every morning I'd get in the mirror and I'd look in my own eyes, because the eyes are the windows to the soul. And I want to see my own soul. I'd look in the mirror and I'd look into the windows of my soul, my eyes. And I began to speak life to myself. I began to tell myself, you are beautiful. You are righteous. You are the righteousness of God right now, today. And I began to speak those things to myself. And you see all this, and then wisdom and knowledge began to come unto me. I would tell myself, you are wise beyond your years. You know things that you shouldn't know. You just speak life to myself. Whatever I wanted, I would speak that into myself every single morning. So much so till I began to believe it. It became real in my life. And guess what? Information came and overtook me. That's right. Wisdom and knowledge came and overtook me. That's right. Righteousness and perfection came and overtook me. And now nobody can take me from my own righteousness. Nobody can take me from my perceived perfection. You understand? Nobody can snatch me out of the hands of my God, who is one with myself. I love it. So beautiful. It really is. Peace, Kim. My cousin Kim. Peace. Todd says our life experiences and learning process is different for each individual. Similarities are love, intentions, belief systems. Exactly, Todd. All of our lives, we are headed to the same direction, but we're all taking different roads. And we have to remember that. What works for me may not work for you. Learn to study yourself as much as you study other people. Learn to study your demands as much as you study what other people demand of you. What do you demand of you? What does your soul need to thrive, Are you like a withered ass flower? Are you drooping in your soul? Do you need a little water? Maybe you need to take time out to determine what water is for you, as you are the flower of life. What is water for you? And fuck the external rules that they've placed upon you. Whatever that water is, you better look like supplying it if you want to live your better balanced life now. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Now, I know this is going to hurt, but I'm going to say it anyway. Some of us are married to people who are not supplying what you demand. Yea, they even refuse to fucking supply what you demand. But because you got this religious mindset, because they told you you don't need to be a hoe or this and all this other shit, whatever they told you, you feel like you need to stay stuck with a person that refused to feed your soul. That's just the same as if you're in a house and you hungry. This motherfucker got food, but he's refusing to give you food. Are you supposed to sit in that house and starve to death? Are you? Answer that. Well, if the answer to that question is no, I'm going to ask you this question. Why are you sitting in that house spiritually starving to death? That don't mean run out and fuck around with Tom, Dick, and Harry and everything walking. But what I'm saying, if this person is refusing to supply you what he knows or she knows that you demand in your soul, that is not your husband. That is not your wife. That is not your fucking friend. Do you understand? You're not judging, you're evaluating. You've evaluated according to life and death, not good and bad, life and death. And you've evaluated and you've deemed this person to be death to you. And therefore, you should feel no guilt by getting what you need to spiritually live on. You understand? There's no sense in sitting here spiritually dying because of some external rules, all while denying your own soul. Denying the God within you. Because some external God whom you've never met, whom they only told you about, said that you're supposed to stay with this one person who's not supplying you your needs for the rest of your life. But do you understand when you said till death do you part? There's something about definitions, y'all. They're very flip-floppy and tricky. See, you may think till death do you part means till your physical body die. But how many of you know that you have an incorporeal spirit that cannot be seen or touched? And I say that when your spirit dies, move the fuck on. You've been sitting with that motherfucker and you dying spiritually when you surely are dead. When you are dead spiritually. And that little light in you has died. You find yourself sitting on the couch, crying yourself to bed at night, in the bathtub, holding a razor, don't know what you're going to do with your life. You're dead, baby. You can part now. You can go. Death has done your ass part. Move on. Get somebody else. But this time be diligent. Be very diligent. Spend some time evaluating that person, evaluating their mindset, evaluating whether they have what it takes to supply what you demand. Don't make the same mistake. And when they no longer supply it, reason with them. Talk to them. Just like you'll do with a bad leg. If your leg is going bad, you don't just cut that bitch off. You take it to the hospital. You try all you could to fix it. But at the end of the day, if the leg won't get right, you cut it off. And so too in your relationships. If the people in your life are refusing to supply you what you demand, you need to do one of two things. Number one is not cutting them off. I'm going to say that again. Number one is not cutting them off. If there are people in your life who are not supplying what you demand, number one is to not cut them off. Number one is to check your fucking demands. Maybe you have some unrealistic demands. You need to evaluate your demands before you start evaluating their supplies. You see, it's the same thing with like the government. The government supplying us with a whole bunch of shit. But we need not be checking them about their supply. Maybe you need to check why the fuck you demanding what they supplying. Grasp what I'm saying. So when they are not supplying what you demand, first check your demands and make sure they are in line with truth, love, and justice. And if they are, and they are still refusing to supply it, then you talk to them and let them know, hey, like a human being. Now, I know a lot of people are scared to have these kind of conversations, but when your soul is dying, I think it's time for you to stand up and be a woman. Time for you to stand up and be a man and have that real nigga talk is what I call it. Yeah, I know. Real nigga talk. Where you just let it all out. You tell it to them like you would tell it to me. See, you talk to your friends and you give your friends the real. But by the time you bring it home to your man or your woman, you cleaned it up. You give them the soft version. But when you're dying on the inside, it's not time for the soft version. It's time for you to give them the raw and uncut truth. Because see, what's finna happen is you deciding whether to cut their ass off or not. I think they deserve the truth. Be a woman. Be a man. Put your big girl and your big boy drawers on. And have that talk. And tell them as honestly and as raw and as uncut as you can. That don't mean be distactful. That don't mean be disorderly. That means be raw, honest, and truthful. And if they still refuse to supply you with what your soul demands, then you have to give account for your soul. Your soul is like your baby. And if your baby is hungry, what kind of parent are you to sit there and let your soul starve to death? You're not responsible for her soul or his soul or its soul or that soul or any other soul. You're responsible for your soul. And when your soul is hungry, you better feed it. Because see, like the CPS will come take your kids if you don't feed your kids. I want you to know that you can lose your soul if you don't feed your soul. And what does it profit a man to gain a woman if he loses his soul? What does it profit a man to gain the world if he loses his soul? You better feed that soul. That's what you better do. He feeding his, she feeding hers. I guarantee you that shit. Or you feeding yours? That's what I want to ask you. You responsible for you, boo. Yeah. Get on your game, my G. What you doing with your life? What you doing with your time? Yeah. Facts. Fuck they external rules. Understand. Learn how to listen to your own soul. Learn how to listen to your own soul. Prune the demands of your soul. Prune that shit down. How many of you know something about gardening, about pruning, what it do? Prune down the demands of your soul, which branch out of your soul like branches. Prune that shit down. And then whatever it is your soul demands, it is your job to supply it. Understand that a soul was given to you. And you got to give an account for that soul. Understand what account means. See, when you go to a bank, they tell you got to live a balanced life. But when you go to the bank to check your balance, they got a positive balance, they got a balanced balance, and then they got a negative balance. I know all y'all thought balance meant equal on both sides, but tell that shit to the bank. When you go there, sometimes you got a negative balance. And if you want to find balance in your life, make sure it's a positive balance by supplying more than what the fuck you demand. That's right. If you demand love, supply more love to yourself than you even demand. That's right. Whatever it is. That way you don't be in NSF. Your account don't be in negative. You got to give an account of your soul. Balance can be positive or negative. Time is money, my nigga. Time is money. Be careful where you spend your time. These motherfuckers is not supplying none of your demands, then move on. You see, because what you're doing with them is spending time. You're not investing time. You're spending time. There's a difference between spending and investing. Same thing with money. Time is money. You could just spend money and got shit to show for it. Or you can invest money and gain more of it. You understand? And if you invest your time in the right folks, then it is an investment in rather just spending time. Facts. Pay attention. Water, fresh air, nutrition, love. That's right, security. That's all you need. And if you need more than that, then you need to start cutting some shit off. Not people, but demands. Cut demands off. And then you and your husband and your wife wouldn't have so many motherfucking problems if you wasn't so needy for love, if you didn't need so much fucking attention, if you didn't need so much validation for them to make you feel like you something. Don't you know you something? You don't need nobody to tell you you something. You need to tell that to yourself. Understand, you got to be with yourself 24/7. There's no escaping you, boo. There's no escaping you. Be careful about looking into other people's mind to see a good reflection of yourself. Because when you look in your own mind, the reflection of yourself is ugly and you don't like to look at it. So you look in his mind or her mind because you like the way they see you. But when they switch up on your ass, now you jumping through hoops so they can see you the way they used to see you, and you've become their slave. Be careful who supplies. Be careful who supplies you what you need. Supply your damn self. Get in the mirror and tell yourself, boo, you deserve the world. And guess what? I'ma give it to you. Marry your motherfucking self. You understand? Be your own husband and your own wife. And so your external husband and wife can be a companion. They won't be completing you. Whether they actually stay or go, they will not add or take nothing away from you. You understand what I'm saying? Be law unto yourself. so that you don't need the government. You don't need the police. You understand? Because you ain't picking nobody that you need to call the police on. You ain't putting yourself in situations where you need the police. Do you understand? Be a law unto yourself. Use your fucking mind. Use your brain. Use your soul. Yeah. Too goddamn needy. That's the problem. You need too much shit. Now this man or this woman got to jump through hoops so you could feel good today. They tasked with the whole responsibility of making you feel happy or making you feel good or making you feel like you worth some shit. Well, what's your job then exactly? This person got to supply your soul. What the hell are you doing today? What are you doing? Now, I'm not saying that if you got some type of relationship, now this works with husband and wife. It works with parent and child. It works with government and citizen. It works with pastor and congregation. It works with any relationship you can think of. You understand? Be careful who's supplying you, dog. Be careful. Because they could always slip some shit in your supply. You ever got a hold of some bad weed? You ever got a hold of some drink that done been laced? Be careful who's supplying you of your shit. Exactly. It's like the government. They supply you of your food and look what they doing. They lacing your shit. Be careful who's supplying you, dog. You can't trust nobody out here in these streets. You can barely trust your fucking self. So what you need to do is build a relationship with you to where you know yourself inside and out, upside and down, so that you can at least trust you. You got that much control, self-control and mastery over self that you could at least trust self. What the scripture say, take the mote out your own eye first before you try to take it out of other people's eye. And I say trust yourself first before you start trusting other motherfuckers. And if you can't trust yourself, you sure the hell can't trust them. If you can't love yourself, you sure the hell can't love them. If you can't supply yourself, how the hell you supplying your kids? How the hell you supplying your husband and wife? Exactly. Want to blame the government because they tainting our food. Well, who said we supposed to be getting food from them any goddamn way? We want to blame the pastor because he tainting our spirituality and our information. Who the hell said we were supposed to be getting information from them any goddamn way? You understand what I'm saying? We always want to blame the suppliers when reality is your fault for looking outside yourself for supplies. Exactly. Check your demands, boo. Check your little piggy bank. As in your mind. See what the fuck your little pig is eating. Your attention, your focus is the currency of eternity, and your mind is a piggy bank. What kind of shit you focusing on? What kind of shit you putting in your piggy bank exactly? Like the gAudio I tried to do, because whatever you putting in your piggy bank is going to use that to build a house for itself. You know, 3 little pigs? Yeah. So put good shit in your piggy bank. Focus on good shit. Put good materials in there to build your house with. Scripture says anything good, anything pure, anything divine, blah, blah, blah. Focus on that shit. That's right. Because what you focus on, that's the frequency you on. And if you on a high vibratory frequency, that shit gonna display outside of you. You a magnet, and it's an electric universe. Electromagnetism. You understand? Electromagnetism. The electro is outside of you. The magnetism is in you. Yeah. Exactly. Lynn Wood said, evaluating and pruning. Exactly, Lynn. That's what we need to do. We can't let these other motherfuckers prune us because they cutting shit off that don't need to be cut off. They leaving shit that should have been cut off. You don't need nobody else to evaluate your spiritual state. They can't. I can't evaluate your spiritual state as much as I'd love to. I cannot. You know why? Because it's yours. That's why. It's invisible. I can cut you up and open 25 million times and never find one thought, one aspiration. I'll never find one desire. Nowhere. You know why? Because I don't have keys to that house. Only you got keys to that house. The only way I can get in that bitch is if you invite me in. You understand? The only way anybody can get in is if you invite them in. So they can't evaluate you, boo. Only you can. And they shouldn't be pruning you even though they can. Only you should. Do your own work. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Fear of what? Fear of the external rules? No. Fear of some other man walking? No. Fear of starving to death. That's right, that fear. Fear of dying before you ever live. That fear. That's the only thing you should fear. Huh? Yeah. Fear hell. That's what you should fear. And what is hell but having a whole bunch of demands with not enough fucking supply? Fear that shit. That's what you should fear. Because that fear is holy fear. That fear will keep you out of the arms of the nigga that means you no motherfucking good. That fear will keep you out of the arms of that gold digging bitch that means you no good. You understand? That fear will keep you out of the congregation of the pastor that only wants your money. Huh? Yeah. That's holy fear. That's the kind of fear that will save your soul. Period. Period. Any other fear is unholy and unjust and unfit for a being of your stature. Understand what I just said. Any other fear is unholy, unjust, and unfit for a being of a stature such as yours. Ye are a God. Time of being a human is over. It's over. It's over. Kiss that shit goodbye. It's over. I'm going to say it again. It is over for you. It is time for you to begin to take an account of your life, to take responsibility. You are able to respond to the shit that happens to you in your life. Responsibility. Give an account to your time because you understand that your focus is the currency of eternity. And you ain't got no money to waste, just like you ain't got no time to waste. We ain't wasting any more of anything. You understand? No, we are good stewards of our mind. We're good stewards of our souls. We are good stewards of our time. We are good stewards of the time of others as well. That's right. Because we are not mere humans. We are gods. Yeah. Facts. Todd Randolph says, I'm going through this situation right now with my brother. He's holding resentment. Childhood. Well, Todd, you can't control how other people feel. A lot of people will hate you. A lot of people will resent you. Even when you began to let people go who absolutely refuse to supply you with your basic needs that every relationship should have. They will resent you. They will hate you. They will try to bring guilt upon you. That's why you got to talk to yourself. That's why you got to encourage yourself. You got to stir up your own faith. Don't let his resentment get inside of you. I always say, a ship never goes down until the storm that is on the outside gets on the inside. So too with you. You will never sink unless you let the resentment, the hate, the fear, the limitations that are on the outside of you get on the inside of you. No, sir. We're not doing that. We're not doing it anymore. That shit ends today. Today, we are going to tarp up. We are going to put tar all around our spiritual boat. That way, all the limitations that the conscious community got out there can't come in here. All of the demands that they showing you through all these commercials, wanting you to want more and more. It's never fucking enough. Just get more and be more and do more. No, we are building up a wall. We are fortifying ourselves against that bullshit, that storm, so that storm on the outside don't get on the inside and we sink. We are keeping our faith. We're guarding our kingdom. Facts. Todd says, I told him today straight up without arguing, he must move on and forgive me for my shortcomings in the past. He hung up on me. And Todd, and he may not, But being unforgiving is like drinking poison and thinking it's going to kill the other person. And so what I'm saying, Todd, is that and I notice your brother and you love him and you want him to let that go because you understand that it is poison and he is drinking it. But don't let that seep over into you, Todd. You maintain your walls. Maintain your walls and love him. And love yourself, forgive yourself. Because see, when people is resenting you and they're holding things against you, guilt will eat us up. Guilt will eat your ass alive. Nothing got a hunger like guilt got. It's a belly that's never full. And guilt will eat you up just because this person feels a certain type of way. And Todd, don't let that guilt eat you up. Let that go, dog. Let that go. You're learning. We're all learning. You understand? We all make mistakes, but we grow from that. You forgive yourself, Todd. If you got to, like I say, very powerful meditation. Get in the mirror and look yourself in the eyes and tell yourself what you would want to hear from somebody else. Say, I know you fucked up, but I forgive you. You understand? I know that you're a good person and I love you in spite of yourself. And I will give you the world because I know you deserve it. I know that this whole time, all you wanted to do is what was right and what was best. I understand that things in life caused you to do certain things. You understand? That's the way life is. But I forgive you. And I love you and I will continue to love you no matter what you do because I know you are great. And you speak that to yourself. You understand? We got to begin to speak life to ourselves because there's so much in the world coming up against us. You got to counteract that shit. That's how balance work, y'all. When they throw negative shit on the seesaw, you got to get in the mirror and throw some positive shit on the other side. When they tell you you ain't shit on the seesaw, you got to throw some you is the shit on the other side and form yourself some balance. You understand? When they tell you you ain't righteous and they put that heavy ass burden on one side of the seesaw, you get your ass in the mirror and you look yourself in the eyes and you tell yourself, fuck what they done told you, young lady. You are beautiful, young man. You are perfect right now, today. In all of your perceived imperfections, you're beautiful and you're perfect. You are heavily and wonderfully equipped for the job and the task that you have been sent to do. You are not lacking in anything. You have no more than what you need. You understand? That's what you tell yourself. We got to get to work, y'all. We got to get to work. This shit does not happen on its own. You see, you have a bunch of land out there, but fruits just don't come popping up. Fucking cabbage and bell peppers just don't popping out the ground. No, weeds come up. You got to get out there and you got to start planting seeds. You understand? Same thing with your mind. The enemy is planting negative seeds all the time. It's in the movies. It's in the song. It's in subliminal messages. You're talking to your mama and she says something the wrong way and you feel like you're not a good enough child. You're talking to your child and they say something the wrong way and now you feel like you're not a good enough parent. You talk to the pastor. They say something the wrong way and now you're not a good enough religious person. Oh, shit. You talk to the teacher and you say something the wrong way and now you're not a good enough student. Oh, Jesus, it just never ends. But you got to get to work, baby. They planting seeds against you. You got enemies who look like friends and friends who acting like enemies. Say they're your friend, but they steady planting seeds in your mind, seeds of limitation, seeds of negativity, seeds of resentment, seeds of old past shit, seeds of future worries and fears and shit. You got to come against that bullshit. This is all about frequency, y'all. Is mind is definitely over matter and spirit is over mind. You got to get to work. You got to get to work. Facts. Exactly, Santana. Facts. Yeah, exactly, Todd. Self-governor. It's called sovereign. It's what you're supposed to be. Self-governing. You should have no need of no man to tell you shit. You should have no need of no man to supply you shit. Now, I understand that the government has got their hand in every fucking thing right now, but you got to, where the mind go, the man follows. So you at least got to get your mind right first. You understand? You might not have a garden today to supply yourself with your own needs. You might not have a farm today if you're still eating meat to supply you your meat or whatever the case may be, but you at least got to get your mind right. At least teach your children what is right, what is true, and what is just, and therefore we can begin to make changes. You understand? You ain't got to be right today. Don't let, just because I'm saying this, even if you're not self-governing today, it's no sense to let guilt eat you up. Huh? I'm not saying all this to make you feel bad. I don't want guilt to eat you up. Just acknowledge the truth. That's all you got to do, is acknowledge the truth. Believe the truth and have faith in the truth, and the truth will chase you down and overtake you, period. There's no room for guilt. None. There's room for sorrow, but not for guilt. Sorrow brings about positive change. Guilt brings about negative change. People get guilty. They start doing stupid shit. You understand? Guilt is not what you need. Sorrow, true sorrow is. Yeah. Exactly, Todd. Todd says seduction and manipulation. Energy vampires. Exactly, Todd. The government want to take your money. Other people want your time and your energy. You need to become very, what's the word? Ebenezer Scrooge about your time. Huh? Everybody want a piece of your time. But if you knew what your time was and what you could do in it, you would become very, very meticulous about who you spend your time with. Why are you spending your time with people you wouldn't even spend your money with? You're more meticulous about your money than your time. But your time is more valuable, my baby. You have no time to waste. Spending hours on games and watching football games and bullshit, that's spending time. That's not investing time. You see, what charity is, you hear about charity, huh? Your time is money. And see, when you giving time to people who give you nothing back in return, that's charity. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But make sure that you invest time before you just start spending time. It's the same way I'm saying you can't be giving the money away if you ain't got no money to pay your bills, is what I'm saying. So make sure you pay your bills first before you start just giving all your money away. And the same thing what I'm saying about time. Make sure you spend your time, or invest your time rather, in things that feed your soul before you just start just giving time away. That's beautiful. Charity is wonderful now. That's love. Ain't that what the scriptures say? Charity is love. Charity keeps no records of wrongs and things like that. And that's a beautiful thing. But you got to invest first, boo. Period. Yeah. Todd says they operate on Frankenstein theories. Exactly, Todd. Divine Maxine says this cipher is lit. Well, I'm glad. Todd says I bullied him, but I was too young to notice I was acting out. I believe due to my father passing. Yes, Todd. Yes, we do a lot of things. You know, in our growing up phase, we do a lot of things that aren't exactly favorable. And we can look back on a lot of things and really feel guilt about the things that we have done. And I see that you've realized that you probably was acting out due to your father passing. It's because a lot of times we have demands, and at the beginning we don't know how to supply them. And so we try other ways to supply that demand, the empty hole, like I like to say. You know, it's like we have holes in us and we're trying to fill them holes with different things, you know, and we do things not realizing what we're doing. And when you know better, you generally do better. And so, Todd, forgive yourself for that. You didn't know better. And for all intents and purposes, that was not even you, Todd. That was not even you. The you today is not the same you from yesterday. Grasp that. The you from today is not the same you from yesterday. And this go for the rest of y'all. Y'all have things, including myself, things in my life that I have done that I can look back on and cry for days. Just cry for days. I got some skeletons in my closet. If I just crack the door open, them fucking skeletons so heavy, being pushed, just knock the whole damn door down on my ass. Just skeletons, femur bone, a tibia, a fibia, just falling out everywhere. Jaw bones. I mean, just like they say, the valley of dry bones. Just everywhere. I ain't even lie. And sometimes we don't like to look back into those things because they give us a sense of guilt. But what we have to do is we have to separate ourselves from that person, because that person is not you. That person had different life experiences. That person had a different template, a different knowledge base, a different everything at that time. It's not you. It's just like your body. Do you know that the body that you have today is not the body you had last month? All of your cells, the old cells have died and new cells have taken their place. So even though your body looks the same, guess what? It's made from a whole nother different set of materials. It's not the same cells it was last month. Whole different set, even though it looks the same. And so too you, Todd. Even though you look the same, you're not the same person. It's a whole new set of rules you're being regulated by. It's a whole new set of wisdom and information you're being regulated by. You might look the same, but you're not the same. It is not you. And so you can look back on that time where the old Todd bullied his brother without feeling guilt on it, because you can cognize and recognize that is not you. That's a person you used to know. See, and this is not an old idea, separating yourself from the old you. It's not an old idea. The Apostle Paul in the scripture says, I knew a man once, whether in the body or out the body, I do not know, he says. But this man was caught up into the third heaven, he says. You know what he's saying? Why does he talk like that? Because it's him he talking about that whole time. Why does he talk like that? Why does he say, I knew a man? I knew a man. Why is he talking like that? Because he's separating himself from his old self. That's why. Because the man that shit happened to is not the man he is today. It was a whole nother man with a whole nother mindset, a whole nother feeling and emotions. You understand? So he separated who he was today from the man that happened to. And so too we must begin to do with the things in our life. Separate ourselves from those old things. You understand? I knew a woman once who was heavily into religion, who looked down on anybody who was not on the Jesus boat over to the America. Who looked down on people who lived a less than lawful life, as they say. I knew a woman once that was like that. But I'm here to tell you that the person I am today is not her. I knew her. She looked like me. She sounded like me. She walked like me. She even talked like me. But she wasn't me. She thought like me. No, excuse me. She did not think like me. She was not me. Facts. Divine says, transmute that energy. Exactly, Divine. We alchemists. That's what we do. Shakira says, you are my soulmate, Crystal. You are holding the mirror so I can see the reflection of myself. So grateful. Universal connections. Exactly, Shakira. And you're my soulmate. And Divine. And all of y'all are my soulmates. My soul family, so to speak, like they say. Your vibe attracts your tribe. And we are gods. We are gods now, and we are becoming gods. We are being gods and becoming gods. Exactly. Yeah. Peace. My brother's on here. Clossy, Christian, Bernard. Peace, CJ. Or Nicole, who's ever listening in. Ashley says, sorry, I'm not sure how I commented this. Much love and light anyways. Love the gaudios. Probably one of the most occultly developed friends on my Facebook. I'm still absorbing the info you said on the 4D and how spirit influenced everything for a purpose. Yeah, Ashley, that's the deep one there. The one I did about Nature Boy. But you know, Ashley, they was fucking with that one though. At the end of it, I was listening to it, and towards the end, it's like Matter of fact, when it got really, really where the rubber meets the road, where I was getting real practical, bringing it all together to a point to where you can use it practically, is when it started like fast forwarding my words and shit. I was like, what is this? I'm like, Facebook is tripping. And they did the same shit tonight with my gAudio. I tried to do, cut it off. The sound was going off, this and that and the other. But, you know, I'm a firm believer that you can't stop the unstoppable. You cannot stop the unstoppable. I really feel like and believe and know that my frequency is more powerful than any frequency that comes up against it. And therefore, I'm back on this motherfucker again, giving the gAudio anyway. Boom, like that. Facebook, who? What the fuck is Facebook to a God? What is the government to a God? What is religion to the God? You feel what I'm saying? And we got to get in this mindset. Fuck their limitations. I'm not worried about how powerful Facebook is, how powerful the government is. I want to know, do they know how powerful I am? Huh? That's what I want to know. Somebody better send their ass the memo. I'm going to get this message. I'm going to get this message out. But yeah, Ashley, I like your shit too. I'll be on your page. I see you very occultic and very, you on the right track. You really, really is. According to my perception anyway. Yeah. I love all y'all. But the idea is just to become more responsible for yourself. Become more responsible for your family. Don't rely on the school to educate your children. Educate your children yourself. You understand? Matter of fact, all that extra ass shit they teach them in school, half of that shit they don't even need. They don't even need over half of that shit. You understand? Educate your children. Love your children. Give your children what they need so they don't have to look outside of the family for it. That's what family is supposed to be for, so that you can be you see, this is how it works. It works on levels. First, you got to become self-sufficient in and of yourself so that you don't need anybody outside of yourself. And then you have kids. Then you get married. And then you set it up to where your kids don't have to go outside of the family structure. Your husband don't have to go. You don't have to go outside of the family structure. The family becomes self-sufficient in and of itself. And then you grow that shit from there. Your community. Then you make your community self-sufficient to where you don't have to leave the community for shit. If you need food, you buying it in the community. If you need clothes, you buying it in the community. You feel what I'm saying? And so your community is self-sufficient in and of itself. And then that shit grows from there and you take it to the state. You take it to the country. And then until you take over the whole goddamn world with self-sufficiency. That's how it works. But it starts with you first. You got to start with you first. You got to be self-sufficient in and of yourself. Now, like I said, I understand that a lot of us are not in that position today because things have been meticulously set up to take your sovereignty, to take your godhood from you. But you have got to begin to take it back. And the first step is knowing. Knowledge is power. And application of that knowledge is wisdom. But you got to know before you can go. Do you understand? Joseph, level will, but you got to know first before you can do, and that's what I'm doing. Is making you aware of your own self-sufficiency. And if you got more demands than you could supply, then I submit to you the idea that you need to cut down on all them damn demands. The less you demand, the more of a God you are. I'm going to say that again. The less you demand, the more of a God you are. The more you demand, the more you're vulnerable. If you need this, let's say you need constant entertainment to be happy. That's making you a slave to entertainment. Whoever got the entertainment is like the man with the crack for a drug dealer. You understand? And so now you out here, excuse me for being vulgar, but you out here on your knees sucking dick for entertainment and shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, or even with information, the more information you think you need, whoever got the supply is like the crack dealer. He can tell you any old thing and you're going to stick around because you need your fix. You understand? Facts. Take away your demands, bro. You don't need no more information than what you got. Everything that you need is already within you, bro. Everything you need is already within you. If they can teach it to you, chances is you probably don't fucking need it. If it could be taught. You understand? If it could be taught to you, chances is you probably don't fucking need it. If it could be bought, chances is you probably don't fucking need it. I'm going to say it again. If it could be taught or bought, that's a meme. Hashtag. If it could be taught or bought, you probably don't fucking need it. You got everything you need. Water is in the rivers. You don't need that. You got air. That shit right here. Feel what I'm saying? And they got food. So what you need? Exactly. Other than that. And if you need love, you got a mouth. Give yourself love. You got hands. Hold yourself. Shit. Facts. Felicia Bug says I'm going in and out. Okay. How I sound now, y'all? If I'm clear, press 0. If I'm clear, press 0. I need to know. Can you hear me? Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? Okay, good. Ashley Horan says he can hear me, so that's good. We're going to continue on with this. Y'all know something else I noticed lately that's saddening is that people seem to need a master or a leader or it's like people crave that. You know what I'm saying? And I've noticed this, that they love to be lorded over. You feel what I'm saying? But as the scripture says, you know, like the children of Israel, they wanted some type of leader, a king over them. When God was their king, God was their leader who spoke to them from the inside out. You understand? But they had to have a king or a leader over them. And I've noticed people is like that. I don't understand that. And I don't want to understand it either, Lord. I'm just saying. People are like that. It's like they have to have some type of king or leader or somebody over them telling them where to go and what to do. And the only thing I could see is the reason for that is that, you know, people just refuse to take responsibility of themselves. Either they don't trust themselves enough or something. I'm not really sure. But I want y'all to know. I want y'all to really grasp and understand that there is a force. There is a real force inside of you, literally waiting for you to call upon it. A real force. Some people call this force God, the higher self, the higher power, the universe, Mother Nature. Different people got different names for it. Whatever you want to call it, it matters not, because it is that which is and it's in you. And it will lead you and guide you exactly where you need to go, just like GPS. All you got to do is type in what you need, and the force inside you will guide you right there. Huh? Right there. You don't need no man to need me guiding you. I don't you not in that. I am peace. I don't know how they not on your purpose. Your God to show make you a name is choose leads the birds to the south when shit get too cold. It leads you out of relationship when the kitchen is too damn hot. You understand? We don't advisors, but we don't want to use our GPS. The shit, it sounds dumb. You know, what you're doing is equivalent to stopping at the corner and asking the man, hey, sir, how do you get back to the interstate? And you got a whole damn GPS in your car, when all you got to do is type it in and your GPS will lead you right there. Now, one man done led you wrong. You stop at the corner of another corner and ask another man. You end up way over here. You understand? Work out your own salvation. Use your own GPS. All of that is within you. You got Wi-Fi, internet, file sharing, Bluetooth, all of that, GPS, all of that shit is inside of you. And you need to begin to use it before you lose it. Yeah. Yeah, my cousin Kim say I'm breaking up. Exactly. I figured I would be. That's some Facebook shit. Yeah, but y'all gonna get it anyway, though. I know you will. Even if you don't get the sound of my voice. See, one thing I know about me and one thing I know about you is we actually do have Wi-Fi sharing. That's right. I'm going to say it again. We have Wi-Fi sharing. That's why we can be on different, you'll get on Facebook or Instagram or even on TV, and you'll see that you'll be seeing movies that's in line with what you've been thinking about. You'll be seeing that your Facebook friends, regular friends are thinking some of the same things you are thinking about. That's because as a God, don't you understand you got Wi-Fi built in? File sharing. I'm sharing files with you even if the whole damn video cut off. You gonna get this work. You understand? So I'm not worried at all. I'm very confident in my God, and I know there's nothing my God can do. There's no barriers you could put up in front of my God. My God gets the message wherever it needs to get. You understand? I have no worries. Todd says, Crystal, you and Aretha Franklin resemble one another. When she was young, I hope you take that as a compliment. She was beautiful. Yes, Todd, I've heard that several times, actually. Several times. You're not the first one to told me that. People in person actually told me that I look like Aretha Franklin. Huh? Secure this. Although she breaks up, she come back through on point. Ain't missed nothing. Fact, Secure. Yeah, rest in peace. Rest in power, peace and power. Aretha Franklin has went on and you know, went on to another level of life. Facts. Death is just a door to another life. Well, this has been a good little conversation we had tonight, y'all. I must say, I have enjoyed this one. And this was just straight off the dome, literally. I just pictured because it was funny as hell. And we went really far with this. We really got somewhere. But you see the beauty of it when you just allow what they say in church, when you just allow the spirit to flow. And that's what this is, just allowing the spirit to flow, just letting your thoughts branch off wherever they branch off and just flowing with it. And I guarantee you this much. A lot of this gAudio, it was a lot of information that helped somebody somewhere needed to hear this, because nothing is without purpose in this world, period, including this gAudio. So this conversation had to be said. The last gAudio I wasn't going to be as helpful as it needed, and so therefore it had to be cut short for us to start this one. It is what it is. Yes. And I love y'all. And I just want to encourage you to love yourself and see yourself as perfect now. Forgive yourself. Love yourself. Give yourself everything that you think you deserve and even more than that. Be your end all to be all. First and foremost. Your cup has got to be full and then runneth over. Understand? You give them your runneth over, but you got to be full first. I'm trying to give them shit out your cup and you're half empty. You're half empty. Half full, however you look at it. But you got to be full and runneth over. What kind of shepherd are you? What kind of shepherd? You got a soul that you are the shepherd of. What kind of shepherd are you? I want you to ask yourself that today. And I want you to be a better shepherd than you've been before. Don't lead your soul to the slaughter like you've been doing. I told you your mind is like a pig. That's why they use the pig for the piggy bank. Because you're storing nothing but memories and shit in there. Memory bank, piggy bank. You get it? And your mind is just like a pig because it doesn't what you feed it. Whatever you bring it to, it will eat. You understand? Whatever you it will eat. But you got to become a good steward of your piggy bank and begin to feed it good things. Yeah. And I love y'all. I do. I really, really do. I know a lot of people just say that, but I actually love each and every one of y'all. Each and every one of y'all. Because I understand there's a child in there. There's a child in there who only wants to be happy. And life happened to it. You understand? Shit happens in life. But in every person, there's a child who is just crying and that just wants to be loved. That just wants to do right. That just wants to be accepted. You understand? I don't give a damn if you're a drug dealer with needle, with the crack in your back pocket getting ready to sell it. If you're a drug user with the needle in your vein, you could be a prostitute hanging off the pole. I don't give a fuck what it is. You could be a pastor in the pulpit. You could be the most praised and prized politician. I don't give a shit. I'm no respecter of persons. I don't give a fuck about your labels. I don't care how much money you got. I don't give a damn what you're wearing. None of that shit don't mean nothing to me. I promise you it don't. Nothing at all. I'm not worried about all of that shit. That child that's on the inside. That child who mama and daddy done some fucked up shit to fuck them up. All of our mama and daddy's done something to fuck up in some way. And if you don't know yet, if you're a parent, you are going to do something to negatively and adversely affect your child. Period. So go ahead and forgive your parents because you're doing something right now. If you don't believe me, they're going to tell you. They're going to tell you. But there's a child in each and every one of us that just wants to be loved. And that's the person I'm concerned with. That's the person I'm concerned with. Because we done forgot about that child. And we left that child at the wayside. You understand? But you need to begin to nurture that child. But 9 times out of 10, we don't love that child. We don't like that child. We put guilt on that child. Not realizing that child did the best it could with what it had. And love yourself. Forgive yourself. Treat yourself. Be to yourself what you want everybody to be to you. Don't wait for them to supply you what you need. You supply you what you need. You say you are God. Let's stop talking about it and start being. Don't get it twisted. I'm talking to myself too. This message came to me before it came through me. This is definitely for me. You understand? Same thing with me. I do this shit all the time. I get mad at my husband because, oh, you're not showing me enough attention. And, oh, I feel so ugly today and unloved. Yeah, I still got work to do. I still got work to do too. And so this message is for me to get back on my game, to get back on my G shit. Grasp what I'm saying. I told y'all I bobble up and down this frequency shit. Sometimes I'm high, sometimes I'm low. You understand? It's I'm a work in progress. I'm not there yet. I'll never all of your growth is earned. That's why it's not going to solve it. Okay? It's the same way. The reality of the origin that's blame about to be only person without children could say some dumb shit like that. Because I tell you one thing, I know I love my children. I know for a fact I love my children. Okay? But I also know for a fact I have made some fucked up decisions. I've done some shit that I shouldn't have done, and some things I should have done and I didn't. You understand? I'm going to protect them and I was not there to protect them. Times when I should have let them go and do things when I held them back. And I'm very aware of this. But instead of getting down on myself about it, which I can if I choose to, instead of getting down on myself, I try to the best of my ability to remember that me at another time at a lower level. And I forgive that version of me. You understand? Because she deserves forgiveness. Because she did not know what she was doing. So I ask my soul, I ask the God within me, I say, Father, forgive her because she know not what she do. Facts. Even today, as I continue to make mistakes, I ask myself, the God within me, my higher self, my soul, to forgive me for the things that I'm even doing wrong now and I don't even know it yet. I have yet to see the effects of the causes that I have put into play. And I said all that to say this. If you're holding resentments and grudges and unforgiveness against people, even if they are still the same as they were when they perpetrated that, because I guarantee you they don't understand what they're doing. They are operating from a lower intellect, a lower frequency, a lower level of understanding. And one day, maybe not even this life, it might be a whole nother life, 2 or 3 lives from now, 2 or 3 incarnations from now, where they learn and they grow. We're all learning here. Forgive your parents for the things that they've done to you, for the harsh words that they said that have set in your soul and festered. You know, they say sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Whoever said that shit was a lie. A complete lie. You see, your bones will heal up, but the wound that words open up can fester for a lifetime. Forgive them for the words that they said that were out of season and out of place, that are festering in your soul right now. That's the only way to heal that wound. You got to forgive them. Don't be so defensive all the time. We have a tendency to be defensive, so much so that we want to protect ourselves, not being able to see that other people are operating from low level. If you have been blessed enough, and I don't like the word blessed, but I'm gonna use it for the sake of convenience. If you have been blessed enough to climb the mountaintop to get a bird's eye view, then that denotes in itself, to whom much is given, much is required. To whom much is given, much is required. And if you have been given a bigger intellect, a bigger vision, a bigger idea of what than the next man, then more is required of you. You are required to understand the level that they're on. If you truly came from that level, then you should understand that level. And you understand the blindness of their eyes. You should understand the hardness of their heart and not hold that against them. Because you were once there, and as you came out, you got to have faith that they will come out. Because even just your faith can make them whole. Grasp what I just said. Your faith can make them whole. If you got that kind of faith that can move mountains, that is. Yeah. So you have a responsibility. To whom much is given, much is required. Exactly, Todd Moore. MOOR. Much more. Exactly, Kimberly. Kimberly says agape love. That's right. I don't know if y'all know much about etymology, but agape love is different from regular love. Agape love is unconditional love. In the scripture it said that when Jesus was resurrected, he came to Peter and he said, "Do you love me, Peter?" He said, "Feed my sheep." In the Hebrew, he said it 3 times. The first 2 times he used a different word, but the last time he said, "Do you agape love me?" The word he used for love was agape. That's a different kind of love. It's an unconditional love. It don't mean that if you do this, I'll love you. If you do that, I'll love you. It just means I love you. That don't mean that you have to have people in your life who are not beneficial for you, who are a liability and not an asset. No, I'm not telling you to put people in your life who are a liability. You can love people from a distance. Grasp what I just said. But you could still love them while they're working out their shit. You know what I'm saying? You could still love them. Yes. You can still love yourself while you working out your shit. We're all a work in progress. The problem is when we forget that and we think we've made it. And they didn't make it. So once we get to the top, we can begin to talk down on those at the bottom. No, sir, you can't. Be careful. Be careful when you do that. The heads you step on to get to the top will be the same heads you got to meet way back down. Huh? What goes up must come down. Cycles. Up, down, wake, sleep, alive, dead, conscious, unconscious, religion, spirituality, flip-flop, the tables always turn. Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives. Facts. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this video, you guys. I want to thank y'all all for tuning in. I want y'all to know that I love y'all. I want y'all to begin to give an account. To sum up this gAudio, just begin to give an account of your time. Don't just spend your time. Invest it. Pay more attention to yourself and what you demand. And then begin to supply what you demand. And thereby you make yourself a law unto yourself. You make yourself a God unto yourself. That's not to denote the higher power. That's not to denote the higher self or the oversoul, but that is to become one with it, to marry your oversoul, to marry your higher self, to marry God, to marry Christ. You become the bride of the Christ consciousness, as they say. Yes. And so be one with that. Give an account of your time. Invest it in things that supply your soul with what it requires of you. Don't let your soul starve while following external laws and rules. Meanwhile, denying the God that is within you. Rather listen to your soul before you listen to any man. Trust your soul before you trust any man. And if you don't yet know how to listen to your soul, then what I can say to you is shut your ears off from all that is external to you. Don't read no books. Don't mess with no Bible, no Quran, no Facebook preachers, and just listen to yourself. Listen to that small, still voice. It's so small and still that you got to be so quiet. You got to calm your mind. Stop letting them throw rocks in your water so that is distorting your reflections. But calm your mind, because that's the only way you can get a perfect reflection of what's going on here. And above all things, love yourself, forgive yourself, and do to yourself what you would have others do unto you. I'm going to say that again. Do to yourself what you would have others do unto you. Lord, been set before you life and death. Choose life and live. Peace, love, life, and have a good night.